06 October 2134, Day 27. My time on Massage 2 ABB has not been long, yet I can't help but feel we've made such an impact, both here and back on Earth. Watching as the shipments are sent up to the space elevator, admiring the iron flowing from the mines, the smoke rising above the power plant, the factory slowly growing and dominating everything around it, it all gives a rewarding feeling. Like I, personally, am saving Earth. Yet, there's still so much to do, so many shipments to make, and we can't do it with our dainty little factory. No. We need something big, something better. Yes, this is what we must do. If Earth is to be saved, then the factory must grow. Hello again. A lot happened in the last episode, so let me catch you up to speed. Quite a lot, isn't it? Especially for only 8 or so hours. Would be a shame if this part had 3 times as much raw footage, wouldn't it? The last episode ended with Jack and me building our first and only coal power plant. Our goal from the last video still hasn't changed. After all, the game must be finished. But there's quite a few more steps before we get there. Right now, that means completing Phase 2. However, we can't just jump straight into that. Well, I mean, we could, but that wouldn't make for a very good video or fix an employee evaluation. So then, how do we complete Phase 2? By going on a little adventure, of course. This time, the adventure is just me and it's also very short, so let's run through it as quickly as possible. I collect a hard drive, yoink a couple of power slugs, upgrade a coal belt, kill a bird, get the 4th set of coal generators online, and finally, rethink my place in the universe after watching this disgusting, grotesque scene. During my trip, I also collected a couple of Mercer spheres, in which Cursed Ada congratulates me for covering the temple of bones and organs and limbs, which is definitely a completely normal thing to say. Normal Ada then proceeds to tell me I'm going crazy, which, I mean, isn't entirely wrong. By the time Jack joins me in my escapades, the hard drive's finished scanning. All the options are pretty good in their own right, except you, and we'll need both quick-wire stator and steel rotor for whenever we make our steel factory. So we decide to go ahead and select steel rotor and re-roll the other hard drive. This gives us a pretty one-side choice between steel rod and wet concrete. I love wet concrete. That's so stupid. So then, no rest for the wicked. Time to get to work. Among the many steps to building a factory, the first, and most important, is planning. We could get by just building willy-nilly, but it's time we had some class, some elegance, some titiousness? The scale we're building at is much larger than anything before, so it's best to take a step back and see what we're working with. In the immediate surroundings of the hub, there are 8 impure iron nodes. 2 on this cliff, and the other 6 in this valley thing. These nodes, with Mark II miners overclocked to 200%, can output 960 iron ore every minute. 2 of the nodes will be saved for a steel factory, meaning we have 720 iron to work with. This is a pretty large amount, especially at this point in the game. We hold off on deciding the final products, however, until we have the smelter set up. Well, besides deciding we won't be using any screws because screws sucks and should have never been added to the game. Okay, I should probably explain this. Before 1.0 came out, Jack and I played the Satisfactory Plus mod. This mod basically just makes everything a little bit harder. For example, instead of just smelting iron ore into ingots, you have to crush stitterite, sort the crushed stitterite, then smelt the sorted iron. However, the mod also changes the build cost for almost everything, in part by requiring screws in so many buildings. And on top of that, the devs had the audacity to add steel screws. So you're not just having to automate and use normal boring screws, oh no. You also have to dedicate a part of your steel production to these stupid, perfectly manufactured little pieces of metal. So yeah, screws. Anyways, we don't want to use screws in this factory, so it would truly suck if we had to make, say, I don't know, 640 screws a minute, wouldn't it? Given that the whole factory relies on iron, and iron must be extracted, we start collecting the items needed to build all 6 miners. Mark II miners can extract twice as fast as Mark I, and their build cost reflects that, requiring not just basic steel parts, but also encased industrial beams. This is somewhat problematic given we don't have a single steel ingot being produced. This left us with two options. Build a very simple steel setup to make beams and pipes, ensuring we have a steady supply throughout the whole factory building process, or indulge in capitalism and just buy them. I think the choice is clear. However, we quickly get sidetracked unlocking Quickwire, which is probably one of the most important unlocks in the MAM for reasons you'll see later. With our procrastination satisfied, we can keep collecting the parts needed for the miners. So we handcraft the 60 beams and 60 butter we need. It's around now that Jack makes a pretty important realization about Sumer's loops.
So something I didn't realize is that I thought the Summer Sloop would just act like as a power shard. It doesn't.
Oh yeah, that's separate to it.
It just doubles the output without changing the input.
Oh! This may not seem too important, but with the power of hindsight, this discovery will be extremely important. Like, fundamentally changing the course of this playthrough kind of important. Now that all the boring prep is out of the way, we can start making our shiny new factory. Now, finding enough open space for this factory was extremely difficult due to the lack of any flat terrain, but we eventually find some space right here. However, as you may notice, this space is currently occupied with our hub, storage, and other random production lines. Luckily, we're both American, so dispersing, destroying, and resettling are part of our genes. While all the items are being forcefully marched to new storage area, we go ahead and start deconstructing all the old smelters, constructors, beams, foundations, and basically anything else that is in the way of progress. The one thing that does stay, for now, is the space elevator. Soon. Eventually, everything is cleared, allowing us to start oh my god. Oh, the door opened. Eventually, everything is cleared, allowing us to start placing the foundations. We decide to align this factory with the world grid to make future expansion easier, and after some time, we end up with this. Before we start placing machines, however, we built the 6 iron ore belts to where we think the smelters will be. There really isn't a point in doing this right now, but oh well. Anyways, smelters. We need 24 of them, with each belt of iron feeding 4 smelters. However, there's much debate over the design. First, Jack proposes this, but it kinda just falls apart. Then, Jack proposes another idea. Why is it asymmetric? I almost immediately shut this idea down because, well, just look at it. But this design lacked in visual aesthetic and made up for with the idea of 4 rows of 6, which would eventually evolve into 6 rows of 4, which may seem somewhat obvious, but at the time it was quite the revolutionary idea. Finally, I present my design, which is ultimately what we will end up using. The design consists of 2 rows of 3 sets, with each set being fed by a single belt. The 2 rows face each other, so we leave a gap between them for logistics. With the general idea laid out, we could start building. This took about 20 minutes, but it's just building. Because smelting is a 1-to-1 ratio, we have 6 perfect Mark II belts going up and over the smelters and off into the distance. Now comes one of my favorite parts of the game, something I like to call belt spam. This is kinda like ASMR without being weird. At any rate, we have the outputs belted and we have their destinations. So we just have to connect A to B, right? No. The problem with our belting placement, and in a way our smelter placement, is that there really isn't enough room in the gap to lift the belts up to the right height. I first try using conveyor lifts, but this doesn't leave enough room for the other belts. Then Jack tries to take a shot at it. This also doesn't work. I try using lifts again, bet you can guess how that ended. Finally, I tried the lifts a different way, and it still doesn't work. Eventually, I managed to make it work by pushing the lifts back against the smelters. Oh. We end up liking how this looks, and so we copy it to the other side. With the smelters built and output logistics done, we can focus on belting the inputs. To do this, we change the design to be flat rather than stacked. With smelters finished, we could start figuring out what to do with the ingots. After some planning, we decide to make 15 rips, 10 mod frames, 60 plates, and 60 rods. In terms of alt recipes, we decide to use cast screws, you can't escape screws, bolted iron plate for rips, and bolted frame for mod frames. These recipes are slightly easier to set up, saving us some hassle. However, there is the slight problem that we never actually unlocked bolted iron plate. So, let's go on a little field trip. For this grand adventure, we decide to head over to the Rocky Desert, which is in the northeastern part of the map. We chose this area for a couple of reasons. One, it's close-ish to us. And two, it's one of the 4 starting regions, meaning all the crash sites will only require low-level materials. Our first stop on this trip is this purple slug at the bottom of a very tall waterfall. Luckily, both of us are experienced mountaineers.
Did you just?
No? This is a long fall. I'm still going.
So you did. Yeah.
This isn't a stupid idea.
No,
It actually wasn't.
Yeah. So I see the purple power slug. You see it all the way down there?
No. Oh, now I see it.
Yeah. Do you have your render distance lower than mine?
No, I just...
Blind.
Yeah. Ooh. No! You actually made it. Is that close enough? Oh,
Definitely not. No. I see what you're doing. You're going to get rid of all of them at once. Just wait till I'm past you before you delete all of them.
Wait, you can now see me deleting stuff?
No, I just know what you're doing.
Oh. Don't worry, I wouldn't do that.
You would.
It is a very long hike.
Oh, I'm picking up a Mercer sphere.
Yeah, I'm close to it, but there's some bees. Oh. Ow. I think the doggo cave is this way. Yikes. Wait, remember, you can sneak up on the beehives.
Live, laugh, consume.
While walking, we notice a cave. The community has dubbed this hole in the wall the Lizard Doggo Cave, for hopefully obvious reasons. Despite the cuteness of the doggos, that is not why we came here. See, if you make your way up this way, then that way, and finally up this thing, you can find a helmet. It's purely cosmetic, but still a nice find. Coincidentally, the exit to the cave is right next to us. However, our exfiltration isn't the stealthiest, and we have to fight our way past a bunch of bees. If you can think back to the last part, you might remember Jack developed a deep hatred for these birds. In a show of support for this hatred, I will attempt to keep track of every single bird disposed of.
Bird. Good job.
It's right there. Power slug. Oh, Mercer sphere.
Crap.
Yikes! Oh, that nearly killed me. Spitter! 2 spitters!
Oh, wait, what's this? Mercer's. Oh, I see it.
I want to get this one.
Follow the veins to the altar and chant.
Ooh. Wait, what's that?
It's what?
These.
Cats.
Cat cave. Well, we have a basher. Do. What's deeper in the cave? Nothing. Pops out. Rocky Desert.
It's time to activate my neurons and remember where the things are.
Like that one?
Yeah. Just some rotors. With this hard drive, we are finally in the Rocky Desert. So, I whip out the old object scanner and start looking for some sumer sloops. Meanwhile, Jack goes off somewhere. I honestly kinda just lost track of him. Eventually, I catch a signal of a sloop and start following it.
It has to be over here. Where's the cave entrance?
It's a big cave. A small, big cave.
I'm trying to get into this one. I can't. There's no way in. What?
This game was a maze. Oh no, it's the big stupid cat.
There's no visible way to get in to this cave.
Finally, that was...
Oh, wait. Oh, this is it. That's why I didn't see it.
I got a summer sloop. So... see a power slug.
There's a lot of cats in this cave if you want. Why is a spitter in here? You want to help me in this cave?
Yeah, I'm already kind of far away.
Go monkey man on these cats. I'm gonna whack you with a stick.
It's a lot harder to find hard drives when I'm not using the map. Oh, finally. Although I'm also not usually in the rocky desert.
Yeah, I think really the only time we've been in this area.
Yeah, continue. Oh god, I might die. This is really bad.
I know we need 20 for like the first 2 upgrades.
What we need is sand. Let's see, rips, steel pipes, butter, more bees. 100 megawatts?
100. That's 4 generators.
Perfect. Easy enough. Whilst heading to the next crash site, we come across a herd of cats, leaving us with no other choice than to collect their DNA. Continuing on, we find a sloop on a very tall cliff bridge thing surrounded by fart pillars.
I have bombs.
Is it up here?
It is, I hear it.
Ooh. Oh, I see it.
There it is.
I should be able to get that.
Oh, and I see a hard drive.
Oh.
Our blood could fill the effigy veins for a resonance song. Scripture becomes harmony, becomes composition. Defile our temple and the threads will sew the windows open.
Pattern analysis continuing. New instruction. Repeat pioneer exposure to alien artifacts. Brain damage compensation packages may be available on successful completion of a special claims form. Our expert Fix-It medical staff are impartial and always open to assess your claim.
Phew!
I made sure you were above water.
I'm dead.
Oh. Was the water not deep enough?
No, you could stand here.
Oh. I didn't realize that.
You're a jerk.
Ooh, slug.
Saying press right mouse button to respawn.
Wait, this is underwater?
Huh?
Puts you in the swimming animation.
I guess it is tech. Oh no. I guess this is supposed to be a water cave.
Maybe. Ooh. Mercer sphere.
Witness a single strand.
There's one in the ground.
Okay, I'm gonna search further down into the cave.
Probably just leads to an exit.
This cave goes so much deeper.
That's not what she said. Huh?
Yeah, you see the roof?
I don't know if I would call it a roof, but yeah, I see it.
What in the world?
It's a
There's
big
the
cave.
power slug all the way up there. What is down here? Oh, Sam!
Yeah.
Holy cats! There's like 3 power slugs in this cave. You okay?
Probably. You shot me!
I'm so sorry.
Oh wait, the man thing finished.
You're still alive after that?
Oh, okay.
You good?
Solid steel ingot. I'm not even gonna let you have a choice, because we need that. I'm doing the Minecraft method.
That's like the only way to get up to it.
From all the SAM I got, I can make 8 of the fluctuators. This cave is massive.
It is.
It just keeps going. I'm gonna try and find an exit. I just found cat.
There's no, I don't think this cave was formed naturally.
What, you think like a big worm?
Yes.
You know? Maybe.
Are you fighting the cats?
I think I killed all of them. Oh,
What are you scanning?
that is hidden.
Oh, I didn't even.
Day 33. This planet may just be the strangest I've ever seen. The caves especially are nothing like back home. Massive caverns cutting through the stone. It's beautiful in a way. Yet there is still that ever-present ominous foreboding feeling. Case in point, the Sumer Sloop. This is what, the 6th one now? 7th maybe? The more I collect these artifacts, the more I'm drawn to them, as if failing to grab them negates my whole mission, prevents Earth from being saved. Still, this feeling has its pauses, like when we left that cave, the biggest I've ever seen. Stepping out of the cave and letting my body soak in the light of the 2 stars is far more cathartic than writing in these fix-it mandated journals. However, that feeling only lasts for so long, until the inevitable reality of my situation rears itself again. Never is there a moment when I truly feel happy, truly feel alive, truly feel free. From the Journal of Samantha Robbins, Pioneer number 15389, dated 12 October 2134. Continuing on, we promptly find a... hold on, let me check my notes. A very dangerous blue slug. Come on, dangerous? That's just 3 bees' nests and a couple of catchy little puss. Purging the remaining threats, we check the hard drive that's been cooking.
I just want to violently pet you.
Oh, this is exciting.
There's 3 of them in the ground.
Dimensional deep.
I don't really like either of these recipes. Iron from limestone?
That's not great.
Okay, encased pipe is good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Ooh! No!
Ow!
You got my way! Okay, this one.
I think 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Jacob!
I thought it was reloaded. Ah, there's the hard drive.
You okay?
Big hog. But besides that, yeah.
Big hog or rock thrower hog?
Big.
Big. Rat hog? Or just big?
Just big.
Big.
He's dead.
Thank you for the hard drive.
I've been playing for 2 hours. No harm in having a fresh sip of fix-it bottled water.
I love how our goal today was to make the factory nice. We stopped halfway through the first thing.
Not even the first thing. But no, we needed these recipes.
We do.
There's just a few more crash sites in the Rocky Desert, and one of them is up there. No, not that cliff. That cliff. That's, quite high up, isn't it? Well then, let's get to it.
That's the wrong way, Jacob.
I know what I'm doing.
There's a power slug. I'm gonna die.
I'll get you. Oh, that barely did any damage.
I swore if you died right there, I would have been pissed. Why can't I grab this slug?
It's too slimy. Oh, I reached the highest point. I think I missed the hard drive.
Oh, what is the staircase?
It works.
Obviously.
There's a hog below me. Come at me, bees.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do something fun, but
Why
also
are you gonna
probably-
grab it?
I'm not. No.
Okay.
I'm not that stupid. I'm gonna jump.
Oh, okay. Down still has 2 minutes. Okay, I think there's a hard drive.
Are you gonna die?
No!
Nah.
You didn't see that.
Uh-oh. Oh, shit. I'm alive! Oh.
What did you do? Why am I significantly lower down?
Well, I kind of shot you off the cliff a couple of times, seeing if, like, no, can I move him? Well, if I shoot him in the head. Turns out I can. Packaged water and heavy oil residue.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay, let's get back home. Now that all the hard drives are collected, we start heading back to base. For some reason, however, Jack decided to take the direct route of going up into the Red Forest rather than just going back with me through the way we came.
I'm just overclocking these two to 200%.
Yikes. Well, that's a weird looking hog.
I like pointy nose.
Oh, this is not good. This is really not good.
What?
I need help.
I doubt I'll be able to help you.
Woo! That's not cool. Ooh, rubber. Okay. Whoa, 5 bees? If we can get enough SAM fluctuator, the
Fluctuators.
yeah, we can get the production amplifier.
How many do we need? Oh, we need 100.
I found 52 circuit boards. It'll almost be near
Okay.
the northern forest.
Oh, so this way. Maybe?
Fix-It employee contract reminder. No pioneer should speculate regarding why there are crashed freighters on this planet.
Ooh, I want the summer sloop.
There's so many hogs! Oh, I see all the bees. Hard drive. I don't need plastic. Check the mod frames out. I have 50 mod. Where did I get all these mod frames from? There shouldn't be too much poison in the forest, right?
I'm gonna refuse to answer.
Bunch of like little streams though. This is actually really nice.
Yeah, it is once you ignore all the spiders, and the spitters, and the hogs, and the poison.
I've seen like a little bit of poison. I haven't seen any of the rest of that stuff.
You will.
Oh, should I risk it for the biscuit? I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit.
What exactly is the biscuit?
Purple slug.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the risk it is a giant hive. What is that?
What is what?
Oh, it's a rat cat! It's a rat cat! That's what it was!
Are you good?
Probably not.
Just run.
I'm trying. I'm in a river. It followed me!
Are you alive?
For now.
Yeah. That's not good.
I'm Jacob. I need help because this thing's gonna follow me. Ow! Oh, I'm one shot. I'm one shot. Jacob, help!
I'm trying.
I don't know if it's following me anymore. Okay, it's not following me anymore.
I came all this way. Remember in part 1 how we went on a hard drive hunt in hopes of finding screws only to not get any? Well, you wanna know something funny? We ended up not using bolted iron plate. In fact, I don't think we've used it at all in this playthrough. Hilarious, isn't it? Of course, the hunt was still useful. We managed to find 3 sloops, 7 Mercer spheres, and 8 whole hard drives. Whilst exploring, we also came across enough alien corpses to get a somewhat surprising 14 coupons. With this, we could get back to work on the factory. Before we can start building, we have to finalize our plans. However, this is a very boring process, both to do and to watch. So for now, let's skip the planning and see some of the wacky shenanigans Jack and I got up to. First off, we unlocked the carbon steel finish and messed around with it. There's 5 of these finishes, all added in 1.0, and they're all equally useful. We also unlocked the vehicular transport milestone. Believe it or not, this milestone gives us a vehicle that can transport stuff. Truly groundbreaking technology. In the spirit of things with wheels, we sink a coupon to unlock the ability to unlock the best vehicle in the game. Then the man finishes a hard drive. This gives us the choice between iron pipe and copper rotor. Copper rotor sucks, iron pipe doesn't, yet we decide to rescan. I'm sure this decision won't force us to do another hard drive hunt later in the video. We also rescan and select alts for the other hard drives we have just to clear up space. This gives us molded pipe, molded beam, fused quick wire, and cheap silica. Surprisingly, all of these will become extremely useful much later on. Now it's time we actually start working on the factory. Luckily, while we were procrastinating, we did manage to come up with a plan, and to show it off, here's a fancy little graphic. Hopefully I actually taught myself Photoshop by the time I'm editing this and you're not just looking at something I threw together in 5 minutes. After everything is made, we still have 140 iron ingots left over. We decide to send 120 to steel and leave the extra 20 for something. However, because of our limited space, it will be interesting to figure out the placement of everything. We begin by building the iron plate constructors, of which we need 12. Because I really don't know how to make building constructors interesting, here's a montage. With that out of the way, we can now focus on our arch nemesis, screws. We decide to underclock all the constructors to 80% just to make the math easier, which comes with the side effect of needing 16 constructors rather than just 13. However, there is one slight problem.
Wait, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, they can't fit. Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah, this is an issue. However, it's a simple one to fix, as we simply change the clock speed to 120%, meaning we now only need 11 constructors. We also go ahead and put the iron rod constructors here, of which we need 2 overclocked to 200%. This means 2 whole iron belts will go just to this area. If you're paying attention, you may notice we only have 4 screw constructors built. To fix this, Jack comes up with the idea of building a loft thing, allowing us to place another 6 up in the air. Just 1 left. Also, we add some decoration to the loft so the constructors aren't defying gravity. Now, where to put the last constructor? How about right here? Perfect. This constructor only needs to be at 80%, meaning this belt will be carrying the extra 20 ingots. Now comes logistics. Placing the splitters is problematic because, for whatever reason, they don't want to align with the constructors. Not a big deal, but certainly annoying. With all the constructors built, we can hook them up to power.
I feel like we're gonna need rods too, aren't we? Yeah.
For what?
For more nodes. Because I think we need Caterium rods for the research.
No, that's a Satisfactory Plus thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank goodness.
Curse you, Satisfactory Plus. It's now that Jack and I split up. Jack gets to work on a simple Caterium factory, while I start working on the second floor of the iron factory. Let's focus on the Caterium factory first. We need smart splitters, which in turn needs quickwire, and quickwire is made from Caterium, hence the need to set up a Caterium factory. It should be noted that smelting Caterium is different from other metals, as it's a 3-to-1 ratio rather than the typical 1-to-1. This isn't great, but luckily 1 Caterium ingot can produce 5 quickwire. By the end of building this basic little factory, we're producing a staggering 200 quickwire. As such, it doesn't take very long until we unlock Caterium electronics and AI limiters. Now the second floor. To start, we need a platform to build everything on. Perfect. However, as I was building, I realized we were getting dangerously low on concrete. Of course, being the high standard of fixed employees, we spend some time making a concrete. Regardless of its questionable belting, it does make concrete, allowing us to get back to work on the second floor. The most difficult part with building is belting the screws up. Remember how the splitters don't align with the constructors? Well, you should, it was only a few minutes ago. Well, the mergers also don't align. This, in addition to our limited space, makes merging the screws rather the hassle. So, for the next 15 minutes, I struggled and struggled trying to finagle the belt so that everything worked. In the end, I was left with this mess. It is functional, so let's just kind of pretend it doesn't exist. With that thing done, we just have the assemblers left, and I think the best way to show this is with another montage.
I love screws.
So then, the factory's done, but before we can turn it on, we need a place for all the items to go. A storage system, if you will. Since the factory is making 5 different items, we merge all the outputs into a single belt. Hello class, long time no see. Today's topic is Logistics 102. So, you want to make a storage system, but don't want to transport each item individually? Well, this means you need to use a sushi belt. A sushi belt is simply a belt with many different items. However, to split the items off into different containers, you need a smart splitter. Unlike boring normal splitters, smart splitters have filters. The ones that are important to us are item and overflow. Item allows you to select a specific item to be filtered through the output. Meanwhile, overflow, as its name suggests, only allows items to be filtered if there isn't any rule for that item or if the filtered item is backed up. Now, you might ask, why even use overflow? It's pretty simple. I told you to. And I have a teaching degree, so you have to listen to me. Using these 2 filters, we can make a perfect storage system with a sink at the end for any excess items. If you're feeling a little spicy, you can also add some decorations, like this weird belt thing that shows what item is in the container. So, that's how you can create an impeccable storage system. Class dismissed. With storage built, I decided to mess around with the factory colors. The basic fix-it colors are nice and all, but I wanted something unique. After going through a few different colors, I landed on this bluish color as the primary and this cream-like color as the secondary. Now I can turn my attention to actually finishing the factory. Remember that 20 extra iron? Well, I decided to turn it into rebar because it's easy to set up and is also vaguely useful. With that done, I connect the rebar to the storage belt and make sure everything is connected to power. It's at this point I started to want the half foundations. I'm not sure why, and I'll never know why given I was alone and thus not talking, but I decided the best way to get the coupons would be to go out and kill as many aliens as possible. And that's exactly what I did. 15 October, 2134. Day 36. I don't know if I'm even able to write what happened today, but I know I must. When I woke up, I was filled with this uncontrollable rage and fury. I've never felt like this in my entire life, but I know I had to do something about it. So I started trekking out, Xenobasher and rebar gun in hand. Every creature I came across I slaughtered without restraint. Hogs, cats, it didn't matter. During this fit, I came across another orb. Of course, the moment I heard it, I'm drawn towards it. I pick it up, and a voice in my head starts echoing.
The voiceless effigy creates bodies in their waves, but does not notice the shore. Is our melody not beautiful?
The orb seemed to catalyze my rage into a revenge of sorts. My energies funneled into a single goal: climb the cliff. During my way up, nothing can stop me. I even managed to decimate an alpha hog with only my fist. I kept going up, without reason, without thought. However, much like Icarus, I flew too close to the sun. As I was approaching the summit, a swarm of bees came out of nowhere, and I was overwhelmed. Blackness then followed. Blackness and silence. I thought I died, but then I opened my eyes again. Was it a dream? I had to check. I went back to where I died, only to find the stairs still standing and the corpses of those I killed. I am, disgusted with what I did. Sure enough, right by the bee's nest was a corpse. My corpse. I collected everything valuable and left. I do not wish to remember this day. Before I leave, I then get a random urge to climb to the top of this precariously high cliff. I am without a doubt human. So, I build a nice long ramp before using the sacred conveyor pole technique. Riveting gameplay, isn't it? Once at the top, I find a crash site protected by both a spitter and a rock throwing hog. The spitter was easy enough, but these little rock throwers are the worst. The rocks might as well be guided missiles. I mean, look at this. Luckily, I'm a pro gamer, so I easily defeat the rock thrower and try to get the hard drive, only to find now it requires 130 beams, which is a little steep right now. As I start making my way back down the cliff, I spot another crash site. Of course, I decide to get it. Along the way, I get sidetracked by a purple slug, then promptly forget where the crash site is. Seriously, I had to go back up the ramp just to figure out where I was going. I managed to collect the hard drive before making my way through a bunch of fart flowers, leading me to another Mercer Spear. Shortly after, I came across this. I don't know what this is. With the grotesque sight of that, I decide to return home. Of course, not after killing another horde of cats. Once I made it back, I handcrafted the alien remains into protein, then into DNA, and sank all of it. This gave me enough coupons to fulfill my dream of unlocking half foundations.
Where would we be without foundations? Probably a bit lower.
I then promptly used the half foundations to design these pillar things. Storage already kind of looked like a bridge, so I guess I decided to just go with it. And you know what? It didn't turn out all that bad. Finally, I connect the main belt to storage, meaning the factory is ready and we just have to turn it on and hope it works.
This is missing its output.
Ah, damn it. We're not perfect, and neither is the factory. Luckily, this was a pretty simple mistake. But then we found another mistake. And another. However, let's not let this distract us from the fact that the factory is working. Our first true factory. Like, look, there's stuff on the belt. Nonetheless, the factory can't stay on. Why? Well, the main belt needs to be faster. So we just have to upgrade the belts, right? No beam. So then, we must ask ourselves the same question we asked 3,824 words ago. A steady supply of steel products? or capitalism? I think you know where this is going. We want to finish the iron factory, but we need to upgrade our belts. Mark III belts require beams. Beams we don't have. Now, we could buy the beams, but we don't have any coupons. So then, how do we get coupons? Jack mentions we could go around killing stuff, much like what I did, but I said that wouldn't be enough and would be pretty boring. Instead, we decided to go to the Red Force in hopes of finding advanced parts on the ground that we could sink. This may not seem like a terrible idea, except for the fact there's a lot of big scary creatures, big scary cliffs, and big scary gamma rays. All while we only have a nail gun and a stick. What could go wrong? To get to the Red Force, we first had to coal before using the tried and tested conveyor pole technique. And here we are. Oh wait, where's the red? Oh. Ooh, look, a cave.
Ooh.
This is a Mercer sphere? Ooh.
What is this? It's Summer Sloop. Thanks. No, I shot you! Wonder if there's anything on that. Ooh. What is that? That's a purple slug, I think.
Huh?
And a sand node.
Also, we gotta stop. There's uranium right over there, I think. Yeah. Oh,
That's a
and a
hard
hard drive. Oh, wait, are those is that my stairs? Did you build more stairs up into nowhere?
Oh. Oh, that was from yesterday. And I was.
Oh, this is
when
a
I got
pure
that hard
node.
drive. Pure Sam?
Pure Sam.
That's good.
Plus a purple slug? I say this is a good
I
haul.
At long last, we made it to our first hard drive. Problem is, well...
Yikes!
Oh, no! I'm dead.
Hold on, I can get you.
Why aren't they attacking? That's weird.
I don't know.
Such a weird platform.
What do you mean?
There's
Oh, the thing I
4
made.
stairs. Yeah.
You know, even if we killed them...
It's not gonna do us good to kill them.
You know, I can maybe run and get the stuff to run out.
With that much uranium?
We just need a few heavy mod frames. That one's... No, it's not dead. Now he is. It's one of those. Oh, yeah, yesterday when I was exploring, I found a new creature.
Oh, in the, I think I know what you're talking about.
It has
It's like a
legs.
It's like, yeah. It's like a bug with really long legs.
You good?
A big chase.
By
I tried to
what?
sneak up. I tried to sneak up on a big nest, but then I'm not. I think I'm being chased by a rock thrower hog. I don't remember. I don't know. I didn't
Yeah.
get a good look at it. All I know is that it came charging at me.
How many hits does it take? I hit a bee instead of the nest.
I almost just hit you with my gun.
Oh, be careful. You know what? I'm just gonna go for it.
Where are you going?
The hard drive. It's probably a
I
terrible
can't-
idea.
I can't res you if you die. I just hope you know that.
Oh, I do.
Heavy mod frames.
Oh, there's crystal oscillators. I
Oh,
lost-
those are probably worth a lot.
I lost maybe a thing and a half of health. I can do this.
Oh, I guess temporary nodes don't do as much damage.
Like, I'm standing to this and I'm fine. Takes 10 turbo motors.
This crash site gave us many goodies, among them 69 high-speed connectors. Nice. We continue deeper into the forest because I kind of vaguely know where another crash site is.
I see. There's more uranium stuff. There's a lot of uranium over here.
Yeah. Which is weird, because I don't think there's actually a uranium node in this biome. There is a hard drive. I see computers.
Oh no.
What?
Oh no, I'm good. Okay.
Did you fall?
I did, but I'm completely okay. I took no damage.
You need help?
There's a hit. I can't get up. Ow.
Oh, you're in a really bad spot. Here,
I am.
use that. If you can.
I can't.
Okay, hold on. There you go.
Really hit it.
I do not have enough ammo for this. Yikes! Oh, okay, not good.
Oh boy. Come on.
There's so much foliage.
Come on. Run towards me.
Oh, trust me, I'm trying. Okay. Oh! I found another hard drive.
Where are you? Oh. Just over there?
Yeah.
It's next to all that poison gas.
You don't happen to have bombs, do you?
No, you already asked that question.
Thanks! Yikes! Oh my god! It didn't let me click. I got terrified.
That's because I already built it. What is that? Oh, rat cat! Rat cat!
Go, go. I'm delaying all the platforms. Just get over.
It got across.
Just... We're gonna have to fight.
Oh, this thing hurts.
Oh.
Ah, it's bugging! It's bugging! It's teleporting! I'm dead.
Hold on, stay there. I can maybe get it. No!
Oh no!
This isn't the greatest situation to be in, but we decide to make the most of it. Namely, by collecting the hub, so that if we died again, we'll respawn in the Red Forest.
Why would you do that?
I didn't think that would work. It is. Hello?
Yeah?
Oh, you're trying to shoot me. That's what you're doing.
No, why would I do that?
I saw the sporks fly by.
Haha.
I fired before you did.
Well, you didn't fire good.
While walking back, I decide to try and collect the items around the crash site we passed up earlier.
Cat is not in the air.
This one doesn't take anything to open. I actually survived.
Finally, we return to the place of our deaths, ready to throw hands with these stupid cats.
There was another spider, wasn't there?
I don't know.
Great. I definitely hear something. There's not just two or one, there's two.
Uh-oh.
Hope you're ready to make battle. Because they're definitely coming.
I think we're just jumped down the cliff. They just jumped down the cliff.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
I have bad news. Bad. Didn't make a fart sound.
Oh no! I thought I jumped off the cliff. There's two more!
It's going after you.
There's another one! I'm about to die again.
At least
I killed it!
you did.
It's dead!
This one isn't.
Jacob, there's another one. You gotta be careful.
Oh yeah, I know. That was a terrible throw. Oh! I have like a fourth of a health thing left.
Richard, you're almost dead. I'm dead.
Hold on.
It's still alive. Watch out!
Oh! Did you see that?
Did you kill it?
I killed it midair.
Oh!
Once again, we got our hands on a plethora of goods. As such, we decided to start sinking them then and there. While we were waiting, I spotted a Sumer sloop way over there. Of course, I won it.
We're up to 19 coupons.
Holy. I'm out of concrete. That is something.
That's just sad, my friend.
I mean, I did build a lot. That's a bit big, but...
You good?
What is that, silica?
You're okay over there?
I don't think so. Hopefully. This one also doesn't need anything. This is stupid.
What's going on?
Do you see what I'm doing?
Oh, no.
Think I can get up there? Yeah, I am not
Where are you?
able to get back to you. Here, look for the explosion. Does that help?
Oh, you're over there. Oh, Jacob.
Automated speed wiring, that's pretty good. What?
There's a rad cat. There's two of them, I think.
Up there?
Up there where the summer sloop is. Okay, no, it's just one, but it's two things of uranium.
You don't need to get that. Although I do need help getting up.
While heading back, I commit first-degree murder. Again.
I thought you were close enough! I'm so sorry. Oh, wait, just... You can't respawn. I'm coming down.
Oh, I'm alive.
Well, I need you to get me then. There's a spitter behind you.
Whoa!
Just do it.
Okay, that was an accident. I accidentally hit my mouse.
Okay. Now the better question. How do we get back up? Oh wait, I think I know how.
It's just part of the skybox, probably.
Oh.
By the end of our escapades, we managed to get 28 coupons, way more than enough. As such, we start heading right back the way we came. With our plentiful supply of coupons, we purchase as many beams as possible and upgrade our belts. We also decide to make concrete more concrete. This is a very basic factory, nothing special. What is special, however, is how we bring the concrete to the main belt. Since the platform is almost completely used up, we decide to belt concrete up along the bottom of the second floor and into the plates. The last thing we do before turning the factory on is build a couple of sinks. Now, at long last, we can turn this thing on. Now we can finish phase 2, right? Well, no. In fact, we're only about halfway there. The next major project is steel production, but planning is boring, so instead we decide to make a super simple SAM factory. On the way to the SAM node, yes, that SAM node, we found another Mercisphere and killed off much of the local flora and fauna. When I said this factory is simple, I really meant it. It's just a miner and 2 constructors. This is because the ratio of SAM to reanimated SAM is absolutely abysmal. Regardless, this little sub can make 60 resam a minute, so we start belting it all the way back to base. For whatever reason, Jack decides to sit on the belt to watch the resam as it makes its way back. It takes 3 whole minutes just to get out of the cave. Given this is gonna take a while, I decide to start planning the steel factory. With this factory, we want to make all the basic parts, beams, pipes, and butter, but also motors. Motors require rotors and stators, both of which need steel, but they also need copper and quick wire respectively. As such, this is the first factory to use multiple resources. One thing I quickly want to explain is how much steel we'll be able to make. In terms of raw materials, we have 2 impure iron nodes and a single pure coal node. Because of belt limitations, we can only transport 270 of each. We plan on using the solid steel ingot recipe, meaning we need 6.75 foundries making 270 steel ingots. If you've played Satisfactory before, you may see the problem. However, at the time, I didn't, so let's move right past it. As I'm taking a break from planning, I start gathering the materials needed to build a dimensional depot. They only need SAM fluctuators, mod frames, wire, and a Mercer sphere, so it's easy enough to build one. I placed our very first depot right on top of the concrete box. The depot is the one and only use for Mercer spheres, but my god, it's a game changer. Before the depot, if you want to build something, you would need to have everything you needed in your inventory. This would, of course, inevitably lead to running back to your base because you ran out of one part or another. The depot, however, allows items to be uploaded to a cloud. This means if you run out of concrete, you can just pull a stack from the depot. The amount of stacks and upload speed of the depot is limited, but both can be upgraded in the MAM. Moreover, to make life that much easier, items will automatically be drawn from the depot while building. Because of how useful depots are, we decided to spend our scarce fluctuators on a storage of alien energy harnessing. This gives us nothing! Exciting, isn't it? Okay, look, I tried to give these videos a nice flow, but there's no way to transition into what happens next. We spend 20 coupons on the Cyber Wagon.
Cyber Wagon
You
unlocked.
built that
While
so
creating this, I did not
fast.
cheat with the width, height, or length. I was able to achieve
Why
great
is it
capability within the
inverse?
same dimensions and same weight as a normal wagon. Part of
Honestly,
this is the fundamental design change.
it looks better
I
in this
moved the
game than it
mast
does
to
in
the
real life.
outside of the
It
truck.
does.
You'll love riding around in this thing.
Why was in parentheses? Why can't I turn left?
Oh, this thing is fast.
You know what, this is such a stupid thing. I'm gonna let it fall off into
No,
the void.
No, yeah, why is right left? No, hold on. Why is left right and right right?
It's like that shopping cart that just... it won't go straight. I flung mine off the cliff.
Soon thereafter, we also unlock Production Amplifier.
I'm going to insert it.
That's what she said.
Huh?
You heard me? Oh, wait!
Yeah!
That's
your
what he
name-
said.
Is her name Peggy by chance?
Fuck.
Unlike alien energy harnessing, this research is actually useful, as it allows us to make use of sumer sloops. With this, I finish up the plan for the steel factory, meaning there's nothing left but to start building. Funny thing, that title is a lie. We don't immediately get to work on steel, but rather spend some time rearranging the iron factory. Don't worry, I won't spend too long on this, given it's literally the same factory. Basically, I wanted to put all of our production on the same floor rather than having 2 separate floors. To start off, we shut down the miners and let all the excess materials filter through the factory. While waiting, we created a simple little belt balancer to split exactly 2.5 concrete away from the iron factory and towards the steel factory. After that, we deconstructed the second floor and began planning where everything would go. We were already tight on space, but luckily there's just enough space to the north of the factory to add some foundations. After the foundations are placed, we build the 8 assemblers and start figuring out how to belt everything over. The belting is actually pretty difficult, given there's a wall of iron in the way. We had to rearrange the splitters for the plates so that they're facing towards the new area. From there, belting is fairly simple. Just run the belt along the iron belts and into a splitter, which we already built because I couldn't find a good place to talk about them. Now we just have to belt the screws. All 7 of them. I don't think I need to explain why this was such a pain. I start off by figuring out the placement of the conveyor poles while Jack begins merging the constructors. The annoying thing about where the screws are located is we can't just go under the iron belts, no. We have to go over them. This caused the belts to be really tall, but it works, so who cares. Since these belts are already higher than anything else, it was easy enough to connect the screws to the poles, then the poles to the splitters. With the screws in the correct area, we could focus on the mod frame assemblers. Each assembler needs 140 screws, so we have to use a weird system to split the 40 screw belt between both assemblers. However, because the belts are up here and the assemblers are down here, it makes things a little bit more complicated. Jack proposes this idea, and with a bit of tweaking, it turns out pretty good. The final thing to do is reroute the concrete belt. With that, we're able to cancel my Grammarly subscription? Anyways, we restart the miners and, as usual, watch everything turn on to ensure nothing is broken. Thankfully, with how many times we've started this factory up, there's no issues. Afterwards, I collected enough materials for another 2 depots and set them up for the plates and ribs. Now we can actually get to work on the steel factory. This factory needs quite a few raw resources, like 9 Mark II miners worth of resources. While Jack gets to work on placing the miners, I begin placing the foundations, which will be used for the iron smelters. It's here I have to spend some time explaining solid steel ingot. The basic recipe for steel is 45 iron ore and 45 coal into 45 steel ingots, or essentially a 1-to-1 ratio. Solid steel, on the other hand, takes 40 iron ingots and 40 coal to make 60 steel, meaning it's a 2-to-3 ratio. This is massive. Iron is rarely a problem given there's so much of it, but coal can be hard to come by, especially given that at this stage of the game, a lot of it's being used for power. So being able to make more steel from less coal with the only trade-off being we have to smelt the iron is kind of insane. Anyways, as I said, this platform is just for the 10 iron smelters, and was very easy to build. Given this platform is pretty small, we decided to just extend it and build the foundries on it. We also built coal back so we wouldn't forget. In terms of foundries, we need 7, with 1 being underclocked to 75%. This leads us to this design. This isn't nice to look at. You know it's not nice to look at, and I'm pretty sure Jack and I knew it's not nice to look at when we built it. Nevertheless, it works in theory, besides the fact we need to upgrade the coal belt to Mark III. Guess what we're missing? Once again, a choice. Preparedness or capitalism? Of course, we choose... Wait, am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? Us, building a temporary factory? Have we finally been blessed with the ability to plan ahead? Finally, we won't have to spend 2 hours hard drive hunting just for some stupid coupons. We're even able to upgrade the belts. Ah, damn it! It's here I realize we're missing the iron pipe recipe. The recipe that this whole factory relies on. And would you believe it? We're out of hard drives. I think you know what that means. We've already been to the Rocky Desert, we've already been to the Red Forest, so where should we go next? The Titan Forest, apparently. Yet another late game area with big scary creatures, big scary gamma rays, and big... trees. Now, we could get to the Titan Forest by just going through the Southern Forest and then up past the Blue Crater, but instead we decided to do the much more fun route of Big Cave. However, we're not walking all that way. We are Americans after all. So, we build some tractors and start driving.
Oh,
Oh, wait, that was an achievement.
what was?
Get knocked over by a vehicle.
Oh, hell yeah, come on. Haha.
After looking longingly into the abyss, we enter the cave. Finally exiting, we enter not the Titan Forest, but rather the... hold on, let me check my map. Eastern Dune Forest. Seems a bit hypocritical, but okay. This area will become very useful later, but right now its only use is to give us hard drives. However, finding any is a struggle. See, I was trying to navigate without using an online map, but this area got a major overhaul in Update 8. I never played Update 8. This resulted in us getting, lost. Completely and utterly lost. After finally laying our eyes on a crash site, a radhog attacks us.
This.
I'm about to die.
Are you dead?
Yeah.
I can save you. Oh no, that's not good. Wait, doesn't its corpse also give off radiation?
Most likely.
So I have to kill it.
Away from me.
Yeah.
With our foe defeated, we could collect the hard drive and keep exploring.
Did you get the hard drive over here?
No, you can get it.
Oh no!
What?
I accidentally used the hog as a ramp, and now my tractor's in the water.
Just destroy it. I guess this works. Wait, isn't there one, like, above us? Butter, beams, steak tours, pipes. I like that they changed what you can find instead of it just being, like, the basic parts. Oh, just copper sheets. Ooh, big hog.
Big hog. Hard drive acquired.
What did it take? Oh, God!
Nothing. Whoa, hello.
That is not nice, mister. Good memories of this place.
Oh, so many screws.
I never said they were good memories. This one also doesn't take anything. Yeah. I know another hard drive.
Oh my gosh.
What is that? Gas Nobilis? 54?
Oh my lord.
Well, now I gotta try it.
Hold on, what kind of Nobilis?
Gas.
Gas?
Yeah.
Oh.
Got 54 of them.
54?
Die. There we go.
Having scoured the Titan Forest, we turn our eyes to the Spire coast in hopes of, yet again, more hard drives.
Repairs needed? What does it need?
Rubber. Oh. Is that enough?
Yeah. Crystal oscillators.
30 of them.
Is that enough?
I don't know.
More computer? Hold on.
Finally, after a fairly unsuccessful hunt, we decided to return home.
This has like, I don't know if it was like 32 or 23 rubber. That's enough.
Nick
Oh,
battle.
hey, rubber.
Oh!
Ah!
Ha!
You need workers, you need to put children in the mines. I did not make it. Jerk.
Ha!
Why?
Mine's are. Can't get up. Oh!
I just killed that bird execution style.
Hello, kitty cat. Goodbye, kitty cat.
Upon arriving back at the base, we unlock crystal oscillators, the Explorer, and, most importantly, hypertubes. After that, we get back to work on the steel factory. Or, at least, I do. Jack, on the other hand, begins work on a, and I quote, human particle accelerator. While Jack works on that, I disconnect the iron and coal miners in preparation for further expansion. By the time I'm done, Jack finishes building his magnum opus. Now we can actually work on steel. However, before we can get too far, Jack made a startling realization.
420. I think. Each side's making 180, plus plus this one that's making 45. 405?
Yes, I made a mistake. Quite a big one, in fact. I created this factory with the assumption that the solid steel recipe was a 1-to-1 ratio when, as mentioned earlier, it's a 2-to-3. This means instead of 270 ingots, we now have 405, which is way more than what we need. Because of this, I scale everything down to only make 360 steel, which is 240 iron ingots, 240 coal, and 6 foundries. Since our plans completely change, we have to destroy, then promptly rebuild everything. We start with the smelters, of which we only need 8 now, before moving on to the foundries. Since 6 is a much easier number to work with than 7, I wanted to make a setup that looked somewhat nice. After looking up ideas, I landed on this. Now, I know this design isn't mine, but I can't for the life of me find where I took it from. So, if you made it, full credit to you. The design is actually pretty intuitive. All foundry recipes have 2 inputs. This is what these top belts are for. One will carry the iron, the other the coal. The bottom belt is for the output. Easy to visualize, very compact, and a pain in the ass to build by hand. Luckily, we only need 6, so it doesn't take too long before it's finished. Given the amount of steel available to us has massively increased, I frantically started replanning the factory, which resulted in this hastily drawn plan. As you can see, the steel gets split between 3 foundries making molded pipes, 3 constructors making normal pipes, and a single foundry making knot pipes. One problem, however, is the output belt for the steel ingot carries 360 ingots. Mark III belts can only transport up to 270. So, the steel has to be split between a 240 belt and a 120 belt, which, coincidentally, works perfectly with our plan. Still though, it isn't any easier to split the belt. Why, you might ask? Well, this leaves us with really only one viable option: somehow belt the steel underneath the platform. This causes Jack to, as he said, have his one good idea of the playthrough. This works quite nicely and allows us to keep building. We start with concrete as it's needed for the molded recipes. In total, we need 200 concrete, which is quite a bit. To lessen the amount needed, we decide to take 50 concrete away from the iron factory, meaning we only need to make 150, which is 450 limestone or 10 constructors. The setup is pretty straightforward, well, besides the splitter. We don't talk about the splitter. So I moved on to beams and butter, which is even more straightforward given it's literally only 2 machines. With them built, I could start belting the steel and concrete. Steel is easy enough, and concrete is just a nice long belt. During this time, Jack was clearing the area east of the factory using gas bombs, which inevitably resulted in interesting comments.
You gave a pyromaniac that's currently learning German in school gas explosives.
But of course, I wasn't going to sit by and not watch all 50 bombs explode.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Oh god, my frames. I think you used a few too many.
After helping Jack with the pipe setup, the steel part of the steel factory is finished. However, the factory as a whole still has a ways to go. So, next up is a small caterium factory. All we need is 6 smelters, 7.5 constructors for quick wire, and that's it. Obviously, it doesn't take too long to build this, so here's a nice montage. Now all we have left is copper and motors. Wait, what about that extra 120 iron? Oh yeah, that. Well, guess what? We forgot to use it. Oops. Anyways, before we begin working on copper, I hop into the game to place the 2 copper miners. While I was doing this, I fixed a mistake with the mod frame assemblers, unlocked expanded tool belt, and, of course, trapped Jack. Copper is a pretty simple factory. So simple, in fact, I don't feel like explaining it. It's here we run into a problem. We don't have enough space for the wire constructors. We briefly discussed overclocking every constructor to 200%, but we've already used our fix-it-approved quota of power shards, and Ada specifically said we can't go over that quota or she'll make the sun explode. Instead, Ada, in all her glory, suggested unlocking the Blueprint Designer. From the creators of Awesome Sync and Awesome Store comes a brand new life-saving device. Introducing the Blueprint Designer. This big empty box negates the need to mindlessly place thousands of constructors by hand, in which you slowly lose yourself in the process. After all, we sent humans for a reason, and humans are expensive to replace. Whatever you build in the Blueprint Designer will be saved to your Blueprints build tab. Simply select the blueprint you wish to use and place it to your heart's content. Use it to make factories, expedite foundation building, or promote tyrannical and treasonous propaganda. Terms and conditions apply. Blueprint Designer has been known to collapse at any amount of force or pressure, including but not limited to flying mantas, atomic bomb shockwaves, standing on it for more than 4 minutes, and gusts of winds faster than 50 kilometers per hour. Do not use a Blueprint Designer if you weigh more than 50 kilograms, are taller than 1.5 meters, or are Irish. Blueprint Designer has been known to cause spontaneous brain death, cancer, internal bleeding, concussions, destruction of one's soul, and light lacerations around the shoulder. The Blueprint Designer, because we care. Strange. Second time that's happened to me. Anyways, we unlock the Blueprint Designer and make a blueprint for the wire constructors. Wow, isn't it beautiful? After tinkering with it a bit, we begin placing them. With that done, we can start working on the AI limiter assembler. It's nothing crazy, just a single assembler and a constructor for cable, but the logistics is somewhat difficult, mainly because we have to belt quick wire. To do that, the quick wire goes down here, up here, over these smelters, and finally into this weird splitter which splits the quick wire between the assembler, storage, and the rest of the factory. With this, we merge the cable, AI limiters, copper sheets, and wire into a second main output belt. The next big phase of the factory is also the final one, combining the wire, quick wire, and pipes into rotors, stators, and finally, motors. This, of course, begins with building a platform. Next is the assemblers. The idea is to have all of them, besides motors, being fed from this middle area. Both rotors and stators need pipes, so it will travel across the top. Meanwhile, quick wire will come along the west side, while wire is split into 2 belts, one going from the east, the other from the west. So then, let's get building. It's here we run into a slight issue with quick wire. See, most of the quick wire is on this 240 belt. However, that's only enough to feed 4 of the 5 assemblers. Luckily, past me already thought about this. Remember how the other quick wire belt got split 3 ways? Well, one of those ways left an extra 60, which is just enough for that one extra assembler. This means we just have to belt it from here to here. Of course, being a highly intellectual person, I remember the hypotenuse of a right triangle is shorter than the sum of the legs, and then completely disregard that as I proceed to build this hideous abomination.
Not a fan of the pole sticking through the belt.
That's fine. It'll be quick wire, so you won't even see it.
Is it that because it's too quick?
Now we just have to make the splitters. Nice. All that's left to belt is pipes, but how will they make their way down to the assemblers? Well, with a nice, long, sturdy ramp, of course. But before I work on that, we need to expand coal power, because there's no way our current setup is enough for this factory. So, Jack heads over there with the aim of doubling our current power output. Anyways, pipes. I make this beautiful ramp with some brand spanking new double ramps before merging the pipes together. I also bring the 240 quick wire belt on the same ramp, because I'm a free person and I can do whatever the hell I want. What happened next was a very strange and confusing series of events. Like, seriously, I left myself a whole damn essay on what I think happened. So, let's do this. I was in the process of moving the limestone belts because we needed to expand the platform for the motor assemblers. However, I then became distracted working on the logistics for motors. Stators are easy enough, just merging in some belting, but rotors are a different story. 2 of the assemblers, or 10 rotors a minute, are used for storage. So I merged the 5 assemblers on the south with 3 of the assemblers on the north. This belt then goes to motors. With that, I start working on expanding the main output belt so that the products from steel, copper, and motors can merge. By the time all is said and done, the motor assemblers were completely set up, the steel products have been merged with rotors and motors, and copper products have been brought up to the motor area, but have not been connected to the main belt. And, finally, I almost finished the logistics for rotors. I think. Maybe. After whatever that was, I went over to Cole to help Jack with some troubleshooting. While there, we found one belt that hadn't been upgraded, and I also moved the water extractors further apart. Isn't this just the most engrossing content you've ever seen? The new coal gens are right in the path of our staircase, so we have to remove it. This does, however, mean power is no longer running to, well, literally everything. Which isn't great, so I start bringing power up along this cliff. Before I can do that, however, I decide to check VIII Inc.
Okay. Mr. VIII Incorporated brought me something very interesting.
And what did he bring you?
You're about to see.
What was that? Hold
It's
on.
the Pulse Nobilis.
That's new. Is it?
No. Ooh, that's fun.
After enjoying the thrill that is the Pulse Nobilisk, I continue running power. This means it's almost time to turn on the factory. Oh, we don't have storage set up. Storage is basically just the same as iron, so how about a nice montage? Day 44. The day we've been working towards is finally here. After over a week of non-stop working and laboring, we finally finished the steel factory. Sure, when compared to the mega factories Fix-It made back on Earth, it may not seem like much, but the idea that just 2 people made a factory big enough to match the industrial output of some moons is nice. It makes me feel powerful in a way, rejuvenated. And that feeling, that disgustingly obsessive shot of dopamine that fills me when we switch on the factory, is the kind of feeling I live for. Earth must be saved, but right now I am simply going to bask in this pleasure. Dated 26 October, 2134. Of course, the factory wasn't perfect. This is Satisfactory after all. So let's quickly run through all the issues. The iron ore belt wasn't connected, concrete wasn't connected to power, none of the wire constructors were connected to power, this assembler didn't have a recipe, both the coal and Cateria miners were on standby, I had to rebuild this lift, and finally, the coal belt had a slight angle. So then, where do we go from here? Well, there's really only one thing we can do. You see that? In the top right? It's been there this whole video. In fact, it hasn't changed in the nearly 18 hours of raw footage you've seen. So how about we fix that? I think it's finally time to finish Phase 2. So, we want to make a whole other factory from planning to completion in just 2 hours. Can we do it? Let's see. First, the planning. After some back and forth, we decide to make 30 versatile framework and 15 automated wiring a minute. I make an executive decision to place this factory in the southeastern corner of the Grass Plains, right on the border of the southern forest. This area has more than enough resources, including a nearby sulfur and SAM node. It's also where I built my very first factory, so it has some sentimental value. While I was scouting the area, I got distracted by a Mercer Sphere signal. This led me to,
Oh, that's not good.
Because I didn't have any items on me, and also forgot the depots existed, I had to wait for Jack to help me down.
Yeah, you see the death crate? That's right. Yeah. I'm stuck here as well.
Oh no.
Oh, oh. I really messed up.
Did you die?
Not dead, just, fallen. There we go.
Just jump. How did you die to this?
Honestly, I don't know. Oh my god! Do that.
You climb up that ladder surprisingly fast. It's kind of weird.
Well, that's why we Fix-It employees.
After that debacle, I spent a nice 18 minutes planning the factory.
Planning is done.
Holy sh! Yet again, another graphic. If you ignore the fact that this factory is almost as big as steel, you can see it's not too complex. In fact, the most difficult aspect will simply be belting the wire, because we have 720 minute being made. However, because this factory is a good distance away from our other factories, I decided to build our very first hypertube. Hello again, class. Hypertubes. These may look like clear pipes, which they are, except instead of transporting fluids, they transport walking bags of flesh. Building a hypertube requires 3 things to be considered safe by Fix-It standards. 1. At least 2 supports. 2. The tube. 3. An entrance. This is now a functioning hypertube, letting any brave Fix-It pioneer travel great distances with ease. But there is something more you could do. Something Fix-It doesn't want you to know about. In fact, telling you could get me fired. And it's something I like to call a cannon. To understand a cannon, there's 2 concepts you need to learn. 1. Walking into an entrance gives you a speed boost. 2. A hypertube will still shoot you out if there isn't a support. So, if we simply build a support, make the smallest section of tube possible, delete the new support, and then add an entrance, well, we just made a booster. Make a few of these in a line, and we have a cannon. It isn't safe, it isn't approved by Fix-It, and it very well could break the laws of physics, but I would be lying if I said it isn't fun. Please don't tell the board about this. Class dismissed. Wow, would you look at that, our first hypertube. Well, besides the particle accelerator. However, I made an egregious mistake while building this. A good cannon should have a gap between the final booster and the actual entrance so you can safely exit. Failing to add this gap prevents you from leaving. And, well, I was then stuck in this cannon for 7 minutes. And of course, Jack had to do something during this time, meaning I was just going back and forth, until I finally, somehow, managed to open the Deconstruction tool, allowing myself to be free at last. I then get sidetracked troubleshooting motors. However, before I can do anything, Jack comes back and notices the hypertube. I immediately get Vietnam flashbacks and very sternly tell him to not use it. So, we spend some time making a nice little hypertube blueprint, which we placed down on both ends. Oh yeah, I never actually fixed anything with motors. Now it's time to make the project part factory. To begin, a bean fashionably walks on screen. Anyways, the factory is broken into 5 sections, if you will. There's iron, steel, copper, concrete, and finally, production. To begin, Jack gets to work on placing all 7 miners, while I start making the iron section. All we need is 15 smelters, and because I have way too many hours in this game, I'm able to build these fairly quickly. So, I build the belts, connect everything to power, and move on to copper. Well, more accurately, I help Jack with copper. The setup is almost the exact same as the one with steel, 12 smelters going directly into 12 double constructor blueprints. I tasked Jack with setting this up so I can get to work on steel, which only needs 6 foundries, so it's easy enough to build, even if I did run out of mod frames. In terms of logistics, the coal goes on the top, while the iron goes on the bottom. I now turn my attention to concrete. To start, I expand the platform to fill this gap between copper and iron, which just so happens to be big enough for all 11 concrete constructors, which is definitely intentional and not just a coincidence. However, once I finish that, Jack runs into a problem. There's not enough space for the wire constructors. This is strange given I specifically measured out just enough space. This turned out to simply be an issue with blueprint spacing. With this predicament solved, I get back to work on concrete. I place 2 rows of constructors, both facing the other, meaning the input belts are on the outside. With constructors built, I'm able to create the logistics for the west side, then the east side, before connecting them to power. Next is the ribs, or at least the prep for them. The 7 iron smelters on the end are made into 90 plates and 120 screws. You may notice the problem here, but I didn't. I then, for some reason, decided to work on the steel products. First, 4 of the steel foundries go into 2 foundries making molded beams. Both of these foundries will need to be slooped because we need more beams and also it looks kinda cool. Meanwhile, Jack finished copper and began work on the rip assemblers, of which we only need 2. Once I was done with the beam foundries, Jack tells me my math is wrong.
They're just making
Double the screws in that we need.
just 10 rips.
So we only need 120 screws, but yet you're making 240.
We're making twice as many screws as we need to, and way too much iron. So I delete the excess screw constructors and smelters and underclock the second iron miner back to 100%. I then finish the steel section by placing 5 pipe constructors, one of which is looped, and connecting them to the foundries. This setup makes an extra 5 pipes a minute, but we decide to worry about this later and instead focus on the mod frames. We only need 5 assemblers, and since the inputs are set up, we just have to belt everything. Up next is the actual project parts. I start by expanding the platform while Jack begins working on the framework assemblers. Framework just needs mod frames and beams, both of which are already set up. Once I'm done expanding the platform, I belt the concrete to the beam foundries and start working on the stators, one of the 2 parts needed for auto wiring. Building stators is pretty simple, just a few assemblers, a sprinkle of splitters, and of course belts. Then comes the most annoying and most difficult part of the factory, the cable constructors. We decide to put the first 4 in this tiny space between concrete and wire. To make the constructors fit, we modify the wire blueprint to merge instead of split. Because of space limitations, it takes some disgusting belt work, but in the end, it works, so who cares? Now for the other 6 constructors, which we decide to place south of the copper smelters. However, belting, as with the constructors before, proves to be a challenge. Like seriously, it took me nearly 8 minutes to figure it out. It required some strange merging for the wire, deleting and rebuilding because my brain stopped working, and of course falling.
No.
But eventually I managed to make it work, so I go and help Jack with the auto wiring by extending the platform and merging the stators. Now to belt cable to auto wire. And wow, would you look at that, it's already done. How crazy. This must be some divine intervention and definitely not my footage getting corrupted. So then, time check. How long did all this take? Wait, we actually made this factory in just 2 hours? What the hell? So, yeah, we went from not having a steel factory to almost completing phase 2 in just under 5 hours. However, Jack had to leave before we could fully finish the project part factory. I, on the other hand, had some extra time, so I decided to finish those last few things. To start, I stand in the exact same spot for a nice 50 seconds, before figuring out what to do with the extra 5 pipes. Though, it's not really a debate, because just look at the recipe for Nobilis. Black powder just takes coal and sulfur, and we already have half of that. Coincidentally, the other half is just a short walk away. Of course, while heading over to sulfur, I found a little cave.
Strand of the tapestry. Are you a temple?
If I had a body, it would be a temple.
You have no body?
I don't think we're on the same line here.
You see lines where there are curves, shallows where there are depths, consume our blood.
I will continue gathering data, I suppose.
Having satiated my thirst for cave exploration, I belt the sulfur and placed the black powder assembler. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. There you go. I then, for some reason, find myself back at the iron factory sinking all the excess parts from those temporary storage buildings we made 9,921 boards ago. About time, honestly. Once all those things were set up, I returned to the project part factory to finish the Nobilis by placing the assembler. Also, it's around this time I finally connect cable to the auto wire assemblers. The final thing to build is the storage area. See, being Satisfactory pros, we know the next phase will not only need another 2500 framework, but also 100 automated control units, which are made from auto wire. As such, creating storage ensures we don't have to gouge our eyes out trying to build another factory, which could be seen as a bit dirty and maybe even unfix it. But I digress. With storage almost done, I decide to explore this pillar. On it, I find a pile of rocks, which just so happens to be crushing a poor little slug. I then decide to head up to the tippy top of this arch thing. There's nothing up here besides a purple slug and an insane amount of pellberries, but it certainly is a nice view. Now I just have to add a sink to storage. Why? Because project parts are big money. This takes way longer than it should and results in this absolutely disgusting thing, but hey, it works. With the project part factory finished, I decide to remake our hypertubes with a brand new blueprint and also add a hypertube to coal power. However, while I was building, I ran out of copper sheets. As I was gathering the missing materials, I got sidetracked troubleshooting copper. Of course, me having to be a perfect flow perfectionist ensuring every part of the factory is in tip-top shape. Anyways, with that out of the way, I can get back to work on the hypertube. It's around now when I notice our power graph isn't even. See this gray line? This is our current production, and it should be as straight as a straight person? But it isn't. This isn't good because it means some of our coal gens are not running at full speed. So I do some investigating and find that these generators are not receiving enough water. To fix this, I simply connect these pipes, meaning coal will never be an issue again. As I was finishing up troubleshooting, I remember that Fix-It Inc. property exists, so I decided to bring him a little closer to home. You know how painful it is to walk cows back to your base in Minecraft? Well, this is the Satisfactory equivalent of that. It took me 4.5 minutes to walk this doggo from coal to the space elevator, where I promptly trapped him. Again. Since I'm back at base, I decide to give the coal hypertube a full test. Let's try that again. What happens next is just a lot of random things that don't really transition into each other all too well. First, I collect enough parts to complete expanded power infrastructure, but I wait for Jack before pressing the button. I then flip the Project Part Factory hypertube at our base to correctly face the right direction, and also rebuild the hypertube at the Project Part Factory to be aligned with the foundations. I then do some more troubleshooting at the steel factory. Yep, I'm still not done with that, and I don't feel like talking about it. After shooting the trouble, I decide to change the colors of our factory to be a little bit more vibrant. Ew, no, not like that. Ah, much better. Finally, I go back to coal because our stupid baby pathetic power still isn't consistent. I tried making this little bypass, but it didn't work. I tried reconnecting the two pipes again. It didn't work. Tried moving the water extractor, connecting the pipes again. Tried moving the water extractor again. And again. Nothing seemed to work. So, like any good fix-it employee, I gave up. Jumping around a little, we also build this crude outline for our new base. However, I don't think it's really worth talking about because it will almost immediately get replaced by a much better base. Finally, I remember that hard drive I couldn't get because I didn't have beams, so I paid it a visit. Of course. As I was heading back home, I was struck by the utter beauty of the sunset. Was I so obsessed with building a functional factory that I was blinding myself to the beauty of this world? Perhaps our work-oriented, late-stage capitalist society deprived me what truly makes me human. Maybe there's more important things than dedicating oneself to a life of servitude to corporate oligarchs, making their profits greater and greater while the gap between the wealthy and poor continues to grow wider and wider. Never mind, the factory must grow. However, if the factory is to grow, we need vast amounts of power. Coal power served us well, but as we start ramping up production of more and more complex parts, coal simply won't be enough. What we need is oil. But of course, oil production is locked behind Phase 2. Luckily, the factory's built and all we have to do is turn it on.